January 19th, a young man from our community, Corporal Joseph D. Joey Logan, one of 6 Marines killed when their helicopter crashed while supporting combat operations in the mountains of Afghanistan, United States Marine. And his father is our guest, Tom Logan. And you can imagine, I don't know that you can imagine. You can try to imagine. You can hope to empathize, but I hope nobody ever has to go through this. And yet, if someone dies in the line of duty, I would hope that the commander-in-chief, I would hope that everyone with a position of authority in this country that should reach out to the family would. That happened January 19th, and a form letter of condolence from the president was dated May 9th and delivered to Mr. and Mrs. Logan by a UPS driver on May 16th, 3 days shy of exactly 5 months. This is all according to the Montgomery County Police reporter, who I think has covered this story very, very well. And to my knowledge, the only local newspaper that has. 3 days shy of 5 months after their son dies, they get a letter from the President of the United States. Is that right, Mr. Logan?
Yes, sir, it is.
I don't know. I don't know what to say. I can't imagine. I mean, nothing can be as bad as losing your son, but that had to hurt.
Yeah, it did. We had a sticky put on the door that morning from our UPS driver, and luckily he's a friend of ours. And he, the goodness of his heart and the love for us and our country, brought the letter home with him after work, and he delivered it to us. And that is one of our heroes also. He just says, I know what this is, and here it is. And I had another friend of mine there, and we opened it up, my wife and I, and you would not believe the feeling we had. It was almost as bad as the day they brought Joey home, that feeling. It tore us apart again, and I couldn't believe it, but it did happen.
The line I read from you in the Montgomery County Police Reporter was, is this any way to honor a young man that gave his life for his country?
Yeah, that's very true, and it's not just Joey. This is not about Joey. This is about all those soldiers, and they're coming back daily. On Joey's flight, 10 of them came home that night, and General Amos, the Commandant of the Marine Corps, was there at 4 o'clock in the morning with his whole command staff to honor those fallen soldiers, and that really touched us. It was February, raining, snowing, sleeting, and we're out on the tarmac waiting for our sons to come home, and the response was awesome from the Marine Corps. I had the highest respect for those men, and you could not believe the young soldiers I met, and I just hope they'll be our future leaders because they are an awesome group of men.
And the community really responded for your son's funeral, as I understand.
Oh, that was unbelievable. I never thought anything could have happened like that, but I like to do a personal thank you to everyone that showed up, everyone that had a flag. 600 children out in front of the school, out in front of the Memorial Center where Joey had his memorial service. This country is a great country, and there's so many awesome people. And I meet them every day now since this has happened, and it happened for a reason. I think it's a wake-up call for me for sure, and I think a lot of people in this country to really love their country again.
You have decided not to sit still. You started calling newspapers. You reached out, among others, to the Montgomery County Police Reporter. What's been the response you've heard from folks once they've heard your story of 5 months after your son's death to get a letter from the president?
It's been unbelievable. After we got this letter, I sat down and started writing my own letter back to the president, and it's a 5-page letter. My wife wrote a 1-page letter, and Lieutenant Commander Rowley, that did Joey's memorial service, wrote a 3-page letter of what he observed when he was here, and our Congressman Kevin Brady took my letter and took it to the White House, which was an awesome deed for him, and he's got my vote all the time. And since then, the White House has responded back to us several times by phone, trying to ask us what we can do. But it's a little too late for what we can do right now for me.
What would have been the appropriate response from the president at the right time?
I believe for every soldier, doesn't matter what branch of service he's in or how in capacity he served, the respect should be done in a proper amount of time. The casualty report gets sent to the White House every day. They know name, address, and phone number of every one of our soldiers that dies in the line of duty. If they get that, I can get that off the computer also. There shouldn't be a delay. There should be, like I said, the military called us and wrote us. I got a letter from Major General Tolan. He dated his letter the same day the boys died, and it got to our house within a week. And that's one of our generals, our Marine generals, and I couldn't ask for anything else. I mean, the same day he wrote his letter.
I understand you and your wife are career HPD?
Yeah, we served. I served 26 years, and Debbie served 21 years for the city of Houston.
And your other two children both serve currently?
Yeah.
In the military?
Andy's in Okinawa, and she's in Marine Intel, and Tommy's in the Navy, and he's doing something top-secret computer stuff also.
A family of service. Mr. Logan, thank you for telling us your story.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
All right. Wow. As I said, I don't care if you're a Democrat or Republican, conservative or liberal. There is right and there is wrong. And that's just wrong. I can disagree with Barack Obama on a lot of policy issues. I can disagree with the tone he takes. I can disagree with the things he does, the things he says. But when it comes down to it, we can argue over the role of government in the lives of human beings, in the lives of our people. And as you know, I believe there should be less of a goal, and he thinks he ought to be everybody's parent. The rest of us ought to pay for it. But when it comes time for the president to do that which only a president can do, I hold him in a very, very, very low esteem for not doing it. That young man paid the ultimate price for this country. That young man lost his life, and his family deserves better than that. His family deserves to know that this country appreciates what they did, and I think they understand that. But for his family to be denied the basic honor, the basic dignity that the White House and only the White House can convey as the leader of this country, wow. That tells me more about Barack Obama than probably anything else I need to know.